we never come forward and say we don't need capital.
No cap. To be capped up.
9 o'clock on the dot, know you should check me. Here for an hour, I promise this talk is heavy. I'm cooking, just get it started, don't go asking if it's ready. I'll be damned like we bout to break a levee. I sweat, all of this content push my conscience to a beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. I'm a monster, my posture looking like we was winning Oscars. Far from an act, but still acting like we got sponsors. Define us by the work we do, you know the work of few. Willing to get down in the trenches for the perfect view. So if you at me, then be sure to mention purpose too. And alignment, we own it, far from consignment. I seen the light, it was blind, to contribute this all the timing. Let it breathe till you find it. Get fresh, then set the table for guests. I told you that we was cooking, this compliments to the chef. Let's go. Good morning, creators, and welcome to another episode of Cooking a Late Night. I am your host, Cook, and as always, we're here to bring you value and great creatives. I had to get right to it today. You know, we normally kick off and we jump to the producer first. Well, my guy Sammy already told me he's cooking up, so we're going to tap in with him later. But I got my guy already on the stage, Mr. Polish himself, Art. Man, please, welcome. Introduce yourself, son.
What's up, man? My name Art, man. You already know Jersey in the building, man.
And he can say that because when he says Jersey in the building, like legit, like went to high school with him. Like, you've been at this for years. I'm excited to have you here, man. So you're a film director, right? And just in this space of creators, and everyone's like, wow, we getting right to it today. Absolutely. You know, because I really wanted to have this conversation with you because I've seen your growth gradually. Most people that come on this show, I know of them in a current state, but right. I've seen you put in the work from day one. Talk about, like, how did you get started in this path? Like, what was it for you about the creative space that got you on your way?
Yeah, I moved out to Maryland, District Heights, right up the street in 2013. I was broke. Me and my man, we was roommates, we was broke, so you know what I'm saying, we had to figure something out quick.
Yo, and that's the thing, you know, and in that time of 2013, you know, not to move past it too fast, like, you just graduated college, like, you know, you went to UMES. I don't know if you rep your set.
Hawk Pride.
Oh, you about your hood, you know,
yeah.
You know, you went there, but you know, talk about like coming out of that. Like, what was your major in college? Like, what was your path that you were on?
My major was hotel restaurant management, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, the people don't know that, but yeah, that's what I do, man. So, you know what I'm saying, people ask me, can I cook? I be like, you know, not for like 2-3 people. It's for like thousands of people.
Oh, nah, you really like run this stuff.
I really, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't, like, the way that I season my food because of that major, like, it gotta be for like 2,000 people, so I don't really never get to show my skills.
Okay, all right. Yo, this is like some fun facts. Talk your stuff. This your world.
I got an air fryer.
Do you season in the air fryer at least?
Before, yeah.
Oh, yo, I gotta see what that's hitting for.
You don't got one?
Nah, I mean, I got the air fryer. I'm just talking about like the season part, like how you chef up everything. Like, I'm curious.
Oh, all right. You season it before you throw it in there.
Of course. I mean, that's pointless. Like, other than that, it's just sitting on the top. But you know, so you went to school for that service. Coming out of college, you know, let's talk about that mindset, right? You graduate, job market. You know, you have this skill set. What did that look like after graduation when you got into it?
So for the first 6 months after I graduated, man, I actually went back to Jersey for 6 months. I was at Campbell Soup in Jersey and Camden. I was making $12 an hour. It was rough.
After a degree,
you feel me?
That's trash.
So all the, you know what I'm saying, youngins that think you about to just come out and get it, it don't always work like that.
Yeah.
But nah, then I ain't really, I guess you can call it a better opportunity. It turned out to be a better opportunity. You know, a mentor of mine had a job at Starbucks in GW in DC, and I went up to $16 an hour as a supervisor, and I eventually started running a little restaurant part in GW, the little lunchroom. They got like a little Starbucks, and they got like the little cafe and whatnot. Yeah. But you know, that wasn't for me. I couldn't even hold you.
Nah, I mean, know yourself, know your worth 100%. Yeah. But you know that just path, right? Because for a lot of people, like even for myself, like, you know, you graduate and you don't hear from a lot of people. Like after high school, after school period, you really don't hear from a lot of people. But you see what they start to do.
And one of the things that I saw instantly, and I'm gonna bring this up as like a throwback. Like
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
you producing these clothes.
Oh
like,
yeah.
talk about this, cause like this was like oh, he putting together like some fire fits. Like, what did this feel like?
Yeah. We sold 300 of those in like 2 weeks. That was probably our biggest drop right there. Them shirts. But now, me and my college roommate, the same person, my man Twitty. I'm saying he half a polish. So if you see that, you know what I'm saying, that's him. Like, he put in a lot of work with it. So he actually put that on the shirt. That's a real picture right there. I gave that to my girl back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Some hundreds on the roses. But he actually put it on the shirt, and then we dropped them, and they sold. But yeah, the clothing industry though, man, that's a beast in its own. So we kind of fell back, but you know what I'm saying? We got some plans for that though. But we've been chilling off that.
So yeah, so talk about like at that place in State. I'm assuming, right? You're working a job, but you're like, this ain't enough. Like 16 an hour ain't going to give you the life that you want.
Nah.
So talk about that initial conversation with your roommate, because I think that was a great opportunity that you made. Like, most people get into college and their roommates years later, they don't even know how they doing until they check Facebook. But like, y'all found an opportunity like to say, yo, we on the same path. Like, what did that look like in the beginning?
I mean, we had that. We just had that talk one day. Like, I remember it was in Surrey Square, around the corner, in the living room. We had a little notepad, and we got to do something. I'm like, yo, we're not even lit on the gram no more. Like, it was looking bad for us.
It was quiet.
It was quiet. So I'm like, man, this can't be life right here.
Yeah.
Working hard. And, you know, back then I was getting up 4 a.m., giving everything I had to the white man. You hear me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm the first one there. They calling me a square at the job because I'm really trying to get the job done and get promoted and all that. But you know, we had that conversation and it was like, man, it got to be more to life. And my roommate, he had already been shooting videos before. He had edited a video and somebody paid him $100. I remember, so I'm sitting there writing. I'm like, yo, didn't somebody pay you to shoot a video? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why would you stop? Like, somebody paid you to do something. So initially he wanted to do the clothing line, but I'm like, man, we can do the videos to fund the clothing line. And that's how it came about. And then thought of the name.
And let's talk about that name real quick before we get into more of the video side, because I do want to go down that path, because I think it's interesting how you can go to school for a whole profession and get out of school and learn another one. So like,
I went to school for video too though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So how did you supplement doing both industries?
Well, my school, YouTube University, it's
top of the class.
They got classes anytime.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, we went to YouTube for that. I ain't really go to school, but that was school for real. Like,
I mean, but it is like,
it is
for anyone who's coming up in this space. Like, those resources are out there. They exist. And so like, you know, you were just talking about like a little bit more to just, you know, telling him like, yo, this is where the money is. Like, the videos is where the money is. But you went to YouTube and you jumped in it, and like, this is you focused. Like, you really put the skill set and took the time to learn the craft. What made you realize the opportunity that was before you to go down that path?
Man, when we was in that living room, I'm like, man, everybody want to be in front of the camera. There's mad artists out here, you know what I'm saying? And I just was like, man, we got a lot of clientele. We decided to get on the other side of the camera, you feel me? So it was more like a knowing the market type thing. It wasn't, and like, you know, we all like hip hop. I came up off hip hop, so I always, you know what I'm saying, 106 in Park, I always like making stuff look nice. I like making people look nice. If you're around me, I'm gonna check you out, make sure you look, you know what I'm saying? I like making people look sweet, so that's how it all worked out.
Yo, and the dope thing about that is like, it genuinely was you even coming out of school. Like,
yeah, you know.
I don't even know if you remember, but in high school, like, it was one day where it was me and MSC, but Gabe, like he was rapping it, and one day I was rapping with him, and it was just some hardcore bars. I was making up stuff. He was like, why you? That's not your life. Like, why you gonna do that? And I ain't gonna lie to you. That sat in my head ever since. And ever since then, I was like, yo, somewhere, if I ever rap crazy again, Art gonna be like, that ain't even him for real. So I changed my direction.
Look where they got you though. This is you.
1,000%. So
my
like,
man.
so I say that to say like, you really kind of always seen like the field. You've always seen the landscape and saw, what actually resonates with the artist and what they needed to bring to life. So to see you get in that space was like fire for me. But you even started doing y'all started doing not even just videos, but like things like this graphic design cover, which this Rick Ross mastermind y'all did when it dropped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they serious. Like you really jumped into this space early, and to not have been introduced to it beforehand, like how did you really find a lane in something that you weren't necessarily doing consistently?
Man, we was copying a lot of people out here, man. Shout out to Wizzle. I don't know if y'all know Wizzle. You heard of him?
I don't. I haven't.
Wizzle,
So.
he throw like the flower fashion shows. He in LA now, but he did Meek Mill's Levels. I think it was his artwork, but he just a creative and he's super dope. So early we used to like kind of just steal everything he was doing. I mean, he probably laughing watching this, like. I had to tell my man, like, fall back off Wizzle, man. Like,
we doing too much of his stuff, right?
We turning into a little Wizzle, but nah. That and, just watching other people, man, we just be, what I'm saying, taking everybody's stuff and putting our own spin on it. I feel like that's what creating is. Like, everybody inspired by somebody, front or not, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, 1,000%. And, that path and that direction is not one that's often recognized until it's too late for a lot of people.
Nah,
it's like usually people turn into that old head that be on the block and come back and be like, back in my day, I used to give him 50 on the court. Like, you can't ball. Yeah. Like, but you found yourself in a space where, not only were you getting clientele, like y'all were being recognized. Like, there's even a moment out there where y'all were nominated for top photographers in the DMV area. Like, talk about just that work ethic and how did you actually receive those types of recognitions and run with it?
I mean, it's a blessing, every time you get recognized for anything you do, that's a blessing, that's God's work. So, we always appreciate it. We didn't win, so I don't really, we was nominated, we ain't win.
I mean, yeah, you was, but you on the list. It's
the system was rigged, you know what I'm saying? The same person won 3 times, his sister run the show, I ain't saying nothing. Shout out to Hood Roach. But, it's my man still. But nah, that was cool, man, just putting that work in, man. We wasn't really looking up. Like, me and my roommate, we should just come home. My man Twitty, we just come home after work and get right back to work. It was like we was obsessed with work. Like that picture right there, that was from something we did. It was called a 30-day lock-in. Like we didn't leave the house for 30 days straight, and we just worked with different creatives on whatever project they wanted to work on. So, I don't know. We always just like, I don't know. You just work super hard and then you look up, like you be further than you was. Like I think that's like the best thing to just indulge in your work.
Yeah, and to even like talk to that a little further, like I mean, like this is like real fast forward, but I mean, we talking about like you talk about work, and you got to look at something like now, like God's favorite 1 million views on YouTube, like working with Dave East, and in fact, like I wanna even cue up kind of the scene from that video and just kind of talk a little bit about like how did it feel when you were in that space and just actually working with these artists that you probably listened to before.
Yeah, I definitely listened to Dave before all that, like, but it felt good. That video felt good because it's full circle. That's actually my man Crutch. He from Roselle. I'm from Roselle, New Jersey. Before I moved down there where you was at, that's where I'm from for real. And he did the video. We did the video in Roselle, so it was like a, what I'm saying, full circle type of thing. I grew up with everybody in the video. So that was dope, man. Dave East, he a real cool, humble dude, chilling, man. He was a man of the people, man. So that's always tight, man. Yeah, we got 1 million on that, man. So shout out to Crutch, man. Roselle, USA.
Yo, and for you, how important is giving back to the places that you've been?
Man, it's huge, man. Like that's what it's all about, man. I actually want to start like a nonprofit pretty soon, man, where we just pull up on the kids and different like. I'm saying exotic cars with jewels on it and everything, and then have them guess what we do and just see if they could guess or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's good to see You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when somebody came to your school in a baggy suit, you ain't really want to be like the lawyers. You wanted to be a hooper or, you know what I'm saying, or a dealer, you want to trap. You trying to look nice. So I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, switch it up, show the kids like, man, you can get legal bread and still do all that fly stuff. Like, you ain't got to put your life at risk, you heard, or you ain't got to go to the league, be an actor or none of that.
No, and the fire thing about that is, you know, that's now encouraging them to use what's already in them, like what they're gifted with, what they're already into, versus trying to figure out how to become someone that they may not be.
A cameraman ain't the prettiest job. That ain't cool. Like, you know, a cameraman don't get no respect. I done been in the club and I ain't get no respect.
Hey man, them times are shifting a little bit though, cause now
you get a little clout. You get a little clout.
I mean, you shoot the right.
It's humbling though. It's humbling, man. They talk to the
time.
Cameraman kind of crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
man.
but now,
it's cool.
Now because of social media, they want the cameraman so they can send them the information. So now, as a cameraman, you like the new rapper. You can like, you know, go like, hey, look, you know, I took some great shots. Here's my contact. Not saying I can ever do that, but you know, it's something that can be done. So like, in this creative space, like. One thing that I even want to see or know, like, what kind of opportunity? How have you been able to garnish opportunities not only in entertainment but in the corporate space too? Because I see your work. You working out here, like you putting in work. So how have you been able to actually hit both sides of the fence?
You know, just saying that prayer before you hop up every day and before you go to sleep. Just putting God first. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You just do everything with a pure heart, you feel me, and just be yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You find yourself in the right areas when you being yourself, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm always, like, you know, I was on the honor roll. I ain't never been suspended. Like, being slow ain't never been cool to me. So I was always, like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
Corporate stuff is just like school to me. You know
you've always been that guy. And I'm going to run this by you before we run it on the big screen.
You really?
But, like, I don't know if we can run this to the world. We're going to go ahead and throw this to the world. But you've always been there. This looked like the Sky's the Limit video, by the way. Like, my guy's always been fresh and
That's
fly.
a throwback.
Like, but, you know.
Yo, I ain't going to lie, though. I took 5 girls to that prom. You got the wrong picture. I ain't gonna lie, I had 5 joints. That was 7th grade.
Cause you look like Puff right there, and my man behind you like big, like Sky's the Limit video.
Look,
you
in
got
Jersey,
Slim 112.
In Jersey back in that time. Nah, that's not B. Cardine. No, this Roselle.
It looked just like him though.
It do though.
He looked just like B. Cardine.
Rest in peace to my man Samad, man. He died actually, that dude in the back with the white hat, man. Rest in peace. But look. Back then, your leather suits was popping. I don't know if y'all was on that wave, man. Leather suits for prom was it. Like,
hey man,
if your suit wasn't leather, like
it could come back. It could come back.
That was what they from DC.
But yeah, like I think 100%. Like, you know, I brought that up not just in just a moment of reflection, but like you've always been that guy. Like this, you were my guy too, Drum himself.
Shout out
like,
to Drum, man.
You know, I mean, you've always been kind of consistently you.
Yeah,
and that's allowed you to maneuver in spaces like even from Roselle down to, you know, the RV area. But, you know, talk about what was some of those like core moments and just your own understanding on how to walk both sides of the track.
Man, just understanding, like, you just gotta know how to prioritize. Like, I mean, I understand people be like, man, I don't want to work for the man, but you know what I'm saying, if the man like fit in your schedule and he paying good, like you might as well work for the man a little bit while you do your thing. So it's just prioritizing and, you know what I'm saying, never being too big for no job, you know what I mean? Like, the cameraman if it add up, the janitor if it add up. My pops, he ran a maintenance company, so he made a bunch of money being a janitor. So, you know, just never being too cool for nothing, man, and locking in, man. That's it.
And you say that, and it's funny because you make like the norm look cool, like the actual job lifestyle. I mean, you got your whole logo around your neck, like you know, man. you in a different space these days. But you know, building this up, how did you go about like actually networking in the DMV space because you weren't from here? And I know that was a transition, but what made you actually decide that this was the area that I kind of want to build this out of?
Man, it kind of like decided for me. Like, I don't know, it was like DC like turned me into a man like this. I grew up, I'm from Jersey. I rep Jersey all day, but like DC turned me to like a man out here. I was out here since I was 22. I'm 30 now, so it's like last 8 years I was here, and it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of knocks on DC in certain areas, I guess the art from the music standpoint, but one thing I will tell you, like, it's a great place to start a business. Like, it's something about the energy. Like, they support like businesses out here, like especially black businesses. So it was like in the DMV, just a great place to kick off. And there's so much going on too. Like every night is something going on. So it was definitely, I don't know, the stars aligned on that as far as location.
Yeah, and I would even add to that, there's more than meets the eye in DC, right? Like, because it's funny, because you can walk into, like, you can literally walk into the spot, it looks like a small house, but you go in and it's, like, deep in the back, it's, like, levels and layers to it, and I think that speaks a little bit more to the community of it. Like, on the outside scope, it might not seem as if they have so much going on, but they are popping, like, and it expands. Like, you get those artists that break out, you get those comedians that break out, and those in the creative space that break out. I think we all kind of went past it a little bit about like polish. Like, what does that mean? Like, how do you
polish?
What's polish defined as?
The actual definition is to remove flaw from. So our little slogan is, it's never too late to become polished. So that just means, like, just keep trying to, like, when you polishing something you ain't never really done. Like, every day, just keep trying to get better, you feel me? So that's what that means. Like, and just, it's like a lifestyle. Like, just every day, just be better than you was yesterday. So that's where that come from, man.
And you've shown that in this career space professionally.
Word.
Like, talk about, like, what actually got you, like, I know you saw money up front. Like, money could attract you to this field. But what made you say, like, yo, I need to learn this skill and become polished in it myself? Like, not just take the approach of, all right, I'm going to get other camera people. Like, you became an eye yourself. You was in here like, oh, what's that lens? Oh, using that. Like, you literally did the work in yourself. Like,
my man forced me to do that, man. I didn't want to do that. I didn't used to want to grab a camera, man.
Really? Why
I had
not?
a phobia, man. I didn't want to be a cameraman. I keep telling you this. It was tough. So he always, like, he would just clown me, like, you don't know how to do this, you don't know how to do that. Like, I'm like, nah, you're not about to know how to do all this stuff, man. Then you're not here, and then I just, just watching Twitty go to work every day, like, he pushed me to, like, get better at everything. So but if we got, like, a big video, he's behind the board editing, like, I'm making sure that. And that's one thing about that. Like, my man is nice, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times two people can't exist in the same space because of egos and whatnot. But, like, when it comes to big shoots and stuff, I always let him take the wheel with certain stuff, you feel me? Because I watch him put the work in, and I respect his talent. So, but I just not try and get left behind is the final answer, because my man is nice with it.
Nah, that's a motivator, and that's why it's often said to keep people around you that do push you, right?
Yeah,
because
sure.
It could just as easily been somebody who was doing nothing with his life, and then both of y'all just doing nothing with your
together.
life. You know, like, so you found yourself in a good space, and fortunately y'all were paired and honestly aligned. Because I mean, I don't know if, like, by that time y'all chose to be roommates or if it was just like happenstance, but one question for you is, in that space, when you're looking to work with someone, when you're looking to start and share ideas and visions, right? There is, and as you mentioned, there's that balance, but there's that ego check up front. How do you prepare someone who's looking to go into a venture with someone else on the best practices on starting a business with a friend on top of that? That's tough. Like, they normally tell you don't do business with friends. Yeah. So, like, how have you guys been able to not only start a business but sustain it and grow it?
I mean, like, knowing why we started, knowing where we came from with it, like, we was having fun before this, so, like, this ain't about to separate us, like, you know what I mean? Right. And just, keeping that in the forefront. But to anyone that's, like, thinking about going to business with somebody, just know your personality types. I read a lot, so, like, I know what type of person I am. Like, I'm a visionary, and, like, he's more of, like, the execution guy. So, like, I know that. So I'll put us in situations to be successful. Like, you know what I'm saying? So as long as I know if we get in the right rooms, I ain't got to worry about what happens in the room now, because my man is nice with it. I just got to get us there. So, like, you know what I mean? We play off each other's strengths.
That's the best way to do it. Speaking of, you talk about books. What are some, like, current books that you have on your palette?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Credit is King. I just been trying, play with that credit.
Get that bag completely.
You hear me?
Hey, man. Nah, man. You that guy to do it. Who else but you?
Nah, man. We gotta play with that. But another book, dang, what's the last? My favorite one I went back to not too long ago is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a great book. Um, I like Steve Harvey had a good book. I forget the name of it.
Definitely wasn't Think Like a Man.
No, I ain't read that. He's completely out of pocket for dropping that. Steve, you out of pocket.
He tried to get us out the paint fast.
He's
Like
out of pocket,
Steve.
like a wallet during a robbery. He's out of pocket, like he's dead wrong for that book. But nah, it was another one. I don't know the name of it, but it made me start writing everything down. I got a vision board because of it. I got a blue cover, but I forget the name of it. I'm reading a lot of books, man. I like to read.
Nah, and I mean that shows in your execution and your approach, right? Because as much as you're able to live a life that's the life that you work for, you know, you also strategize for a life that you want even after that part.
Sure.
You know, and I think that's just key in anybody's movement in space, and you're definitely someone that I could say like the blueprint. You know, this is what it looks like. You execute it, and even currently, like while you're doing this and you're making a bag in the music space, you've still been able to execute and have a 9 to 5. Like, talk about what that looks like to work a 9 to 5 and still be a creative, because people always get this idea that you got to go all in on one. Like, that ain't even realistic these days.
Yeah, it's tough to do that until like you know you really getting chicken from one. But you know, like I probably would have quit my 9 to 5 if it didn't like work so much for me. Like my little saying is make work for you. So like. You know what I'm saying? Before the pandemic, I was remote, so that always helped. Like, I've been remote for, like, the last 6 years. I do software sales, so you ain't really got to be there, you feel me, unless you got, like, a client meeting or something. So that always helped. And commission, man. You got to get them commission checks and sales, man, especially out here in D.C. That's why I love D.C., man. It's money out here, man.
You sound like paid in full.
Yeah,
hey, man, DC the move.
D.C. is lit.
DC the move, man.
I'm trying to tell people, man, and people be like, man, I can't wait to get out of the DMV. I'm like, you got everything you need right here. Like,
But you know, you bring up a good point, because I think for a lot of people in the creative space in the DMV, they feel like opportunity is in LA or in Atlanta. You know,
I mean, it depends on what you went to. Yeah.
But the
That makes
question
sense.
is, like, what do you feel like is missing in this market and space? Like, what is it that could really get those who are creative from like leaving and actually stay here and build it?
I mean, people done came from here though. You got what's the dude? He sing that song, Al Green. Ain't he from here? Nah. Oh, they don't know nothing about that.
I was about to say, I mean, I was gonna help you, like you said, like Wale. Like I was gonna help you with like a couple, like Dave Chappelle. Like I was gonna give you a couple.
Nah, who sang that? No, Marvin Gaye. I'm tripping.
Oh,
What's going on?
Yeah.
That joint.
I ain't gonna
So
hold you.
they've been having, you know what I'm saying?
I was on that Family Feud board, like, I mean, a Jeopardy joint, like, somebody.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, nah, but that's the thing. But there's talent. Like, talent exists, but it seems as if that people with talent feel that they can't manifest it here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is missing that one official platform. But that's tough, man. The only places that really got it like that is Atlanta, New York, and LA. So it's like one of them 3 places. But for a secondary market, I think you could still pop here. But as far as the music go, I don't think a lot of artists like be getting on from DC because like, you know, this is like a go-go area. I don't know if they like practice enough yet. Like, there ain't no knock. But like, you gotta like practice rap. Like, you can't switch from go-go to rap and think that you just going. Like, you gotta study that for a minute, man.
Nah,
they wasn't listening to rap back in like '99. Like,
but my man, Shy Glizzy was someone who kind of popped from here, but he left. He went to LA.
He popped here though.
He did, cause I mean that Crew record was bananas.
Oh yeah, he was on before that though. I think he was on with Awesome. Yeah, he was on with Awesome.
Valid. Yeah, because
he really got on by Disinfect Trail. I don't know if you know that. It's a song called Disrespect with the Tech.
Yeah, I do. Nah, actually, that remind me of like the Club Love days down here. Like,
yeah,
that was an era.
Lit.
That was an era.
Lit.
You know, for those who weren't there, you missed it. Like that's all you can offer them.
You know,
but in this space for you and where you are, you know, talk about like where do you see this building for you? Like what does Polish look like for you in the next 2 to 3 years?
Man, we trying to, you know what I'm saying, get a studio space where, you know what I'm saying, right in DC where we can get that opportunity to the other creatives to come in and kind of like build just like almost like an academy, like a school, like how to do it type thing, like with photography, videography. You know, we gonna have people sell their clothes there, but I also wanted to be like a camera rental spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know, it's a site called Share Grid, and you can like rent your cameras. Like everything turning into like that autonomous like wave with apps. You can rent everything out. Like you probably could rent those out, and, like get them back. So I'm trying to open up a camera rental spot too, but we're gonna do that in DC in the next supposed to do it in the next 10 months, 8 to 10 months. So
that's a big play because you know, especially for those that are coming up in the creative space, you find yourself limited to those resources, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, a camera itself, like on a low end, you're looking at like 500 just to get you started.
Game.
Like that's just to get you some skin and just say like, yo, take a picture. That's not going to be like high def 4K.
Nah.
Especially with things going digital now, right? Like because things are digital, there's more pressure on the quality control of what's put out there.
It's
like,
so much.
Have you seen in this current pandemic that took place and shifted? Have you seen just a change in the market for yourself and how you guys activate?
Yeah, I mean it's nonstop now. Everybody want content. Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got more like content projects. It's not necessarily just like one and done videos. People are really trying to like double down on, I guess, just going on the internet since you can't go outside. So it's a plus for us.
Well, you're not supposed to go outside.
Yeah.
There's some pictures from Tulum that tells people different.
Yeah.
But you know, ideally, you're not supposed to be outside. But you know, talk to that space and vision for you, and like actually trying to execute just more or less like kind of not even staying relevant, but keeping clientele during this time.
Man, just you know, like if you ain't built that relationship before this time, you kind of out of luck. Like you gotta be relationship building the whole time. Like we got clients from 2013 still, so it's like that's an ongoing thing. It just in times like this, I guess you really see it like pay off. Like you know, not cutting those relationships off because you may be working with some artists that are like a lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, going from 1 million views to 100, it don't matter. We still putting in the same effort. That's just how we, you know what I'm saying? That's just how we roll, cause you know it's somebody like when you get in front of that camera, like whatever it is, nobody's playing. Like if they hop in front of that camera, they're serious about whatever they're doing. Like they made the investment, so we gotta take it.
And it's not a light investment. Like you have to invest in yourself. And where you are, like you know, you spoke a little bit earlier about your impact and influence from like BET 106 and Park Days. How did it feel when you actually saw a video you did on MTV Jam of the Week? What was that moment for you?
That was a tight moment right there. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Money Man. He made that happen, man. Like he that was a big deal, man. You know what I'm saying? Text my family. Everybody was happy, man. Me and my roommate was happy, man. It just made us feel like we was doing something right. We might as well keep going.
I mean, and we not even going like not only was the Jam of the Week, we talking 15 mil on the views. Like again, this is just and to kind of just give a snippet to someone who's maybe like tuned in or tapped in right now. Like you know, this is also some really fly video shooting, editing, like directing. Like for yourself when you're on set, what are some of the things that you're keeping in your mind, like and kind of walk us through your process.
When I get on set, I'm trying to see what's lit. Like, I'm gonna work with whatever the most lit thing you got going on. So, you know what I'm saying? If all you got is a nice picture in the corner, well, make sure you get up under that picture. Like, I don't know, you just gotta, like, whatever I feel like, because I feel like I'm a little hip-hop guy, so whatever I'm interested in, I just try to, like, shine light on that. Like, he got on these shoes, he got this accessory, or he might have some Cardis on, or, you know what I'm saying, shorty might have a fat butt, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, you gotta cater to the audience. You gotta know your target demographic.
Not that at me, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm good.
Nah, I mean 1,000%, and I think that even more so with you, you know, and with the space that you are in, you've been able to execute these things because you're a fan of the work. Like, right. You know, you shoot out of the idea of, yo, this is what do I want to see if I'm gonna have to sit down in front of my TV, and you catch those moments. So, you know, for you, what would be something that you would give game to a younger film director coming up that's trying to just elevate themselves in this craft?
Man, YouTube, like invest a lot of time, like on YouTube, whatever you thinking, like if your screen going black every 36 seconds, like type that in on YouTube, like just use YouTube like Siri, like whatever you thinking, type that in, it's gonna tell you the answer. Um, Other than that, also, you know what I'm saying, just making sure that you dead serious about whatever. I'm saying, just being sure about the profession once you decide to jump in. Just lock all the way in. I mean, don't take no shortcuts with it.
I think that's just the biggest thing for anyone in any path, you know. And again, for my creators out there that tune in, understand this, like, you know, this is a certain, not only consistency, but a dedication to the cause of success. Like you weren't just like, yo, this is cool, we're gonna get money for 2 months and be out. It was like, let's dig in and become a little bit more. So for yourself, you know, what do you feel like for you is like kind of just the space in which you operate in to bring this to life? Like, what's been your biggest path and focus?
What you mean?
Like, just for you, like, what motivates you in this?
Right now, man, just like seeing people pass us. Me and my man talk about that all the time. Like, we're trash. Like, he started like 2 years ago, and it should look better than ours. So like, I don't like that. Like, you know, because we already said we do something. So now it's like, I don't want to be them guys that fell off. You know.
Nah.
I go
100%. And so, like, with that,
scared
like,
of that.
you upgrade gear, you upgrade, like, the idea and vision. You plan on, like, producing content yourselves? Like, when does it get to the place where you guys, like, turn it back on what you do and kind of show?
Trying to, man. I got my man Dink in here, man. He getting the behind the scenes. Oh my God. He getting the behind the scenes today. You know what I mean? He got a camera. We trying to capture more of this, like you said.
Yeah.
We trying to document it.
I mean, that's important because, again, like, yo, I'm looking at, like, I just look back at things like this in this moment, and I really feel like, yo, you've been at this, and you've, like, put the crap, the work, the time in. Like, you earned the jewelry around your neck in this space, you know. And so, you know, for me, it's bigger than just this idea and space. So let me just ask from you, what from filmmaking and photography have you learned that you apply towards your life?
Do whatever it takes to get the shot right. I mean, however many takes it take. For real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, getting that job done. Like, that's the simplest way I could put it. That's direct correlation right there to film, photography, and videography. Like, making sure that shot right. Sometimes you gotta do it 36 times.
Yo, I mean, I think that's the best thing that you can even apply to yourself in life, because it is something that you gotta realize. Like, the first attempt might not be it, but you gotta be consistent. You gotta
Aaliyah, man. You know what Aaliyah said, man.
Pick yourself up and try again.
You heard her, man.
Nah, I heard her.
Peace,
All facts.
Yeah.
All facts. You know, and that makes 1,000%. And then it's something that I hope for anybody out there that they understand. You know, and for you, man, like, I know you're a busy guy in the world, so I ain't even gonna hold you too long. I would say, like, thinking in this space, one of the biggest things for me that I always ask anyone on this platform that come on it, you know, the idea is just like, what does legacy mean to you?
Legacy mean, like, man, your last name. Like, I mean, like, people that come after you, like, they got to deal with whatever you decided to do out here. Like, so if your grandson running into somebody that know you, like, and you was on some bullshit, they gonna have to deal with that. So, like, you want to put out good energy and good juju for the world, man. So for everybody that could, you know what I'm saying, come after you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta hustle for your last name, not your first. You know how that go.
All facts. That's why they call me Cook out here. I'm out here.
Facts.
Personally. You know, but
Yes, you are. Shout out to Cook, man. This is my boy right here, man. Came a long way, man.
Yo, it was a long, yeah, man. We was talking earlier. It was bad back in the day, you know. Trying to rap. I mean, I could rap, but I was
you had the talent.
Yeah, I got there. It was just I was doing too much at that time, you know.
Change the content a little bit.
A little bit, you know, but we curated the content now, so we much better, you know. We intros on talk shows now.
Man, I love it. I love
you know,
the setup, man. I respect it, man. This is inspiring right here.
Nah, man, and the same for you. You know, I think, in fact, in that it's funny you mentioned that 30-day lock-in moment because I actually came to you guys for work when I was doing that Martin Luther King joint.
You did.
And I was going to pull it, but I was like, nah, this ain't about me today. But you know,
pulled that, man.
but I was, but you definitely had always just been that visual inspiration for me, where it's like, yo, whatever I do, I gotta get somewhere near this. Like, you know, if my budget don't get there, what do I need to do to develop and get myself to that space? So I just want to say this personally on this platform and give you your flowers, bro. You've been at this for years, and I genuinely appreciate what you do and how you activate this space that you're in. With that said, yo, please take a look at this camera and just tell people where they can support you, how they can follow you, and what you got going on out here.
Man, you can follow me on the gram, man. Follow _polish me. Polish Art. Follow my partner, Twitty. For my corporate people on here, so y'all got like 2 different little twists.
I peeped when I was doing the research. I was like, yo, which one I'm gonna pull from?
Yeah, no, we got the corporate side, man. You can't have guns and all of that in the same YouTube as you got, you know what I'm saying, different little stuff, little professional stuff.
Yeah.
We want to keep it separate. So Polish Creative Circle, that's our other little website where the more corporate clients, like, we did a video for like 1,800 on there. We got a Sprint commercial we did. We did something with McCormick seasoning. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta have different little lanes, man. You can't.
Both sides.
Yeah, you got to. They writing them checks on that side.
Facts.
That's the budget. Yeah, they ain't got them budgets no more.
Let me tell you something. You can throw all you want in that video. It ain't this.
It ain't this.
It ain't this.
And they only asking for 30 seconds, man.
Right.
They give you $30 for 30 seconds.
Y'all want 8 scenes for like 500.
I ain't gonna get started with that, man. That's a whole nother story.
Hey, man, look.
I can tell you some stories about that.
Nothing's worse than, hey, yo, it'll be a good look.
Nah, you know what's the worst?
What's that?
When they've been beating you down, trying to talk you down, and then you actually let them talk you down, then you show up to the video and they pull out like 5,000 in front of you and count it. I'm like,
hey, nah, this for me. Like, hey, nah,
hold on.
That's me, Slim.
Let me grab a stack, Slim. Come on,
let me hold that. Like, you good.
Kill,
that's
Mo.
Hey, man, you got it off. You got that off. But with that said, man, look, bro, I appreciate you, yo.
I apologize on behalf of my Instab studio. They are the worst. Like, it's mad sounds in the background. Like, excuse me, sound.
Hey, we got microphones now, so it ain't even as bad as it used to be.
Oh, my
like,
God.
before, when you used to exhale, like, it would pick up. So we good. Yeah, I mean, we out here.
Yeah, they off the dawn. Nah, man.
Hey.
But look, Mark, man, I appreciate you, man. Cook, man. Appreciate you having me on, man.
I appreciate you
keep doing
coming
what
down.
you do, man.
I appreciate that. So with that said, look, y'all know what this time is. I have my guy cooking up all time. Sammy, please introduce yourself and take us to the beat, bruh.
Sammy on the beat here. Just want to welcome you to Cooking Late Night. Want to bless my brother Cook with something tonight, man. You know, I'm not really sure what it's going to sound like, but it's going to be blessed. You can follow me on social media, SAMMAY, on the beat. You can also check out my website. Stay tuned for all my new releases. I recently dropped a project called Filtered Thoughts. It's an instrumental project. Feel free to check it out. That's you can exclusively find everything on my website, SammyOnTheBeat.com. Let's jump into it.
All right, look. So with that said, man, my guy Sammy shut it down again. I appreciate you, bro. You know, man, look, that's as soon as I come back down to to New York, man, you know what the vibe is. You know what the time is. To all my creators, man, good morning. Thank you again to our special guest, Tate. And you guys saw at the beginning of the episode, but we want to close it out in an understanding, man. Rest in power to Walter Wallace Jr. You know, another just senseless killing of African American in this country. We pray that there is swift justice and that all the information that is required for us to know comes out, and that we can continually try and pursue change and peace. With that said, I hope you all have voted this year. As some have early voting opportunities, I hope you guys are taking advantage of, and bigger than that, making sure that we're adding our voice to society. So with that said, good morning to my creatives. Stay cooking.